I'm the Cal Gal, and I'm here to talk about a video that I saw on YouTube about a woman named Jackie Hill and her experience being delivered from homosexuality. Though I've never been homosexual myself, I actually did relate to a lot of the things she talked about and had some similar experiences. And I wanted to share that with you, as well as how I have subsequently found a way out that through my relationship with God. So, to start, just as Ms. Hill, my father was in and out of my life due to drugs and infidelity. And as a result of his being out of our household and my mother having to work, I had to be babysat. And I ended up in the care and custody of a young lady who sexually abused me as I was about 7. That was very confusing for me as a child, especially with the aspect of her being female, to the point where I did question my sexuality a couple of times, but I never felt attracted to women, and I never thought enough to go that route physically. But I always wondered, since that had happened to me, did that mean that I liked women? But fortunately, I never went that route. I'm sure that would have created a lot more issues than I ended up having, but it did lead to a lot of hypersexuality in my life. I would constantly talk about sex as if I had been having it with men. I would make jokes and do gestures and always, draw pictures, find a way to infuse sex into just about anything, to the point where my peers in middle school thought I was active and I wasn't, which shocked me. But knowing how I was behaving, it wasn't, shouldn't have been shocking to myself. But you're in you, and other people see something else. But from there, I developed these strong feelings of worthlessness, with my father not being around to reinforce my value as a female, as a woman or young woman, and then being manipulated and abused by someone, just period, regardless of gender or form, be it sexual, physical, emotional. You feel the value lessen in you because you've been mistreated. And I definitely felt that, to the point where I remember in the 4th grade, I said to one of my friends, I should just be a prostitute. Like, I felt like no one cared enough to treat me with respect, and I didn't deserve it anyway. And I had no idea how damaging that concept was, because those feelings were so strong. So I went on. I didn't become a prostitute, but I did go on to chase and pursue men who were completely emotionally unavailable, probably as a way to try to fix the issues with my dad and not feeling worthy, trying to prove my worth to people who weren't even available to affirm that or to pour into me with any love. And that, set the stage for a lot of disappointments in relationships with men. And growing older, in being raised in a culture where women are expected to be strong and independent and stand on their own and not depend on a man, and go out and get yours, get your education, do you. That didn't help much because not only had I developed a relationship with men where there wasn't a lot of trust in them, I had started placing all the trust in me. So it almost kind of made them my enemy in a way when they weren't. And then not having God as a central figure in all of that made it all worse for me, until I decided to rededicate my life. I got saved when I was 8. It wasn't a real heartfelt decision. I kind of copied my cousin. It was in her heart to do, and I didn't want to be by myself, so I joined with her. But I did have a good relationship with God as a child until about college. When I left high school and went to college, I started to question what I had been taught, and I stayed away from the church for about a decade, and I didn't affirm Christianity, but I did always respect God as God. I always acknowledged that God was God and I was me, and God was bigger than me, but I didn't take it much further than that. I did pray, but I also explored other religions and beliefs and systems that didn't line up with what I had been taught. So there was a lot of confusion there for me. And eventually, I just got to the point where I got tired. I ended up getting married. That did not work out. Um, and I realized that I was really trying to do it all myself. And I couldn't fix it. I couldn't fix my dad and our relationship. I couldn't fix these men and their unavailability. And I really hadn't tried to fix the one thing I could, which was me. And when I finally came to the point where that was my aim and focus, my life began to change. Though our relationship didn't work and it wasn't always the best, I do thank my ex husband for leading me back to the church. I was able to connect to a ministry that is awesome. I love my church and my bishop and first lady. They're awesome. It was the first time I was really surrounded by men who were leaders, who were proudly heading their families, and just good men serving God and trying to be the best men they could be. And it was refreshing, and it gave me something to say, hey, okay, I don't have to be like, you know, looking at Bill Cosby, a fictional character, as the best example of a father and a husband and a man. I could see it every week when I went to church. The man that was teaching me the word, and to be able to do that continuously and witness that helped me along my journey of reconnecting to God and really getting strong in my faith. And it's just been an awesome experience being able to be a part of this wonderful family of friends. And I totally related to this woman, though I don't know what it's like to become a stud, as she phrased it. But in a way, I do, in the sense that I had tried to almost adopt the persona of a man, in the sense that I was going to lead and I was going to be in charge. And it doesn't work. Since all of this has happened to me, I have tapped back into me, gotten to know myself so much better. I used to hate being single. And instead of embracing that time as a time to get to know myself and enjoy my own company, I would just be twiddling my thumbs and tapping my fingers until somebody would come along that wanted me. Because as soon as someone came along, I wouldn't want to be single anymore. I would make sure that was the case. And it was a very unhealthy cycle. Very unhealthy cycle. And this past year, since my divorce, I've gotten the opportunity to really get intimate with me. Who am I? What do I want out of life? Are the things that I've been telling myself I want, or the things that I've been going after, really the things that I wanted, or other people wanted, or what I thought they wanted? You know, we do that sometimes as people. And I discovered this side of me that I had shunned. I mean, when I was a teen, I dressed like a guy. I had the baggy, and it was, that was kind of the style, but I wear the loose fitting jeans, the long button down shirt. I didn't want to be girly. It's almost like I didn't want that attention when I, was going through my cycles of what I was going through. And then it flipped, and I wanted to be, I wanted to look more provocative, and I wanted people to see my body. But then it got to the point where I just was very plain and nondescript. I didn't want to be feminine. I wanted to be strong and powerful, and I wanted to be taken seriously. And it didn't really work. I mean, it worked for a while, but truly, I'm a girly girl. Not the girliest of girls, but I like pink and I like pretty things. And it was shocking to me to rediscover that about myself at 33, you know. So I can totally relate to this girl's story, and I know some of you probably can too on some level. And I just wanted to share. I believe that God created me to be a very transparent person. I've always been so. An open book is how I always phrase, you know, me and who I am. So telling you this and putting this on the internet for the world to see doesn't bother me. Um, and it's my hope that I'm able to be viewed by someone that really needed to hear what I had to say. And I'm hoping that I can touch at least one person through this video. Um, the other thing is, I believe I've been called to minister to men, though I never had the best intimate relationships with them. I've always had very good male relationships as friends. Even the guys that I did date, I always felt comfortable being able to be friends with them when we weren't involved. And I always thought that was backwards, and so did other people, or that I was trying to hold on or recreate something. But I just think that because I'm able to establish those connections and relate to men in a way where I can be comfortable being me and they can be comfortable being them, and we can talk and we can, really be honest with each other. I never understood the value in that until now. And it's my heart to be able to talk to men more about their value. Guys, if you're watching and you happen to be male, I just really want to impress upon you more than anything that you are valuable. You are loved. And not just by the women in your life, but God loves you. And you guys are strong. You guys are unique. You're awesome. You're powerful in a sense that you hold the keys to lead families and communities into the most glorious, positive place that they could go. And I just want to encourage my fellas, no matter what your race or background or ethnicity, just men, you guys are so valuable. We need you. And I just really want to speak to your hearts and let you know how much we just really need you. Though you may not always get the accolades or the acknowledgments you feel you should have, just know from me that I care and that God cares. He's the most important, though. Focus on Him, and you'll see that value. You'll get that affirmation. But just know I'm here, and my heart is to connect to the men. I know the ladies, we always get advice from each other, and we're always encouraging each other and uplifting each other and girl power. And I'm all for that because I always enjoyed that too. But I really think, guys, it's just time for us to connect in a different way. And if we can find a way to truly affirm you all in the way that you deserve to be affirmed, just as people, but as men as well, that we can start some really great conversations and really mend a lot of brokenness in our communities, in our families, in our relationships. And it's just my heart to see that happen. God is just really, He's really pulling on me to emphasize this. And so as I go along in these videos, I'll be addressing that specifically a lot of the time, though I may also address things with the ladies. Um, Guys, I just want you to know that my heart is for you and your empowerment and your betterment and improvement and you being the best man you can be. So I'm going to end it there. I hope to hear some feedback from you all. If you enjoyed it, if you haven't enjoyed it, if you don't agree, if you do agree, let me know how you feel, what you're thinking. It's kind of awkward, me just speaking to you and you not speaking back. So I look forward to your feedback, your responses, and let's get this thing going. I really do want to start a conversation. All right, everybody. It's 2014. Let's make it great. Good night.